In the realm of spiritual awakening and consciousness expansion, we often speak of raising our vibration, of becoming beings of light who radiate love and compassion to all. Yet there exists a profound truth that many spiritual seekers fail to understand. Those who have truly elevated their consciousness possess a power that can be both magnificent and terrifying. The highly vibrational person is not merely a gentle soul floating through life on clouds of bliss. They are warriors of light who have learned to harness forces that most cannot even comprehend, and crossing them can unleash consequences that ripple through dimensions of existence. In this video, we will discover the dark side of highly vibrational people and how to deal with the negative influent people. So let's dive deep together. The misconception that spiritual advancement equals passive acceptance has led many to believe that enlightened beings are pushovers, that their commitment to love and peace makes them vulnerable to manipulation and abuse. This could not be further from the truth. A person who has genuinely raised their vibration has not become weak. They have become incredibly powerful. They have learned to align themselves with the fundamental forces of the universe, and when that alignment is threatened or when they witness injustice, their response can be swift and absolute. Consider the nature of vibration itself. Everything in existence vibrates at specific frequencies, from the densest matter to the most ethereal consciousness. When someone raises their vibration through spiritual practice, meditation, and conscious living, they are not simply becoming nicer people. They are literally tuning themselves to higher frequencies of reality, gaining access to levels of awareness and power that operate beyond the ordinary human experience. This is not metaphorical language. This is the actual mechanics of consciousness and energy. A highly vibrational person has spent years, perhaps lifetimes, purifying their energy field, releasing lower vibrational patterns of fear, anger, and ego-driven desires. This purification process is not gentle or easy. It requires facing the darkest aspects of oneself, transmuting shadow into light, and emerging with a clarity of purpose that cuts through illusion like a sword. The result is a being who operates from a place of profound truth and authentic power. This authentic power manifests in ways that can be deeply unsettling to those operating from lower vibrational states. When a highly vibrational person speaks, their words carry the weight of universal truth. They cannot be easily deceived because their heightened awareness allows them to see through facades and manipulations instantly. They recognize energy signatures, reading the true intentions behind words and actions with startling accuracy. This makes them formidable opponents for anyone attempting to operate through deception or manipulation. The protective mechanisms of highly vibrational people operate on multiple levels simultaneously. On the physical plane, they often develop an uncanny ability to avoid dangerous situations, as their heightened intuition guides them away from harm. On the emotional plane, they become immune to the typical tactics of emotional manipulation that work so effectively on others. They cannot be guilt-tripped, shamed, or coerced because they have transcended the ego patterns that make such tactics effective. But perhaps most significantly, highly vibrational people operate with the backing of universal law. They have aligned themselves so completely with the principles of truth, justice, and divine order that the universe itself seems to conspire in their favor. When someone attempts to harm them or act against them with malicious intent, they often find that their negative actions boomerang back with amplified force. This is not revenge in the petty human sense. This is the natural consequence of opposing someone who has become a clear channel for divine will. The energy field of a truly awakened person extends far beyond their physical body, creating a sphere of influence that can affect everyone and everything within its range. Those who approach with pure intentions find themselves uplifted and inspired. But those who approach with darkness in their hearts often find themselves deeply uncomfortable, as their lower vibrational patterns are exposed and challenged by the presence of such pure energy. Some describe feeling as though they are being seen through completely, as if every hidden motive and secret intention is laid bare. This transparency effect can be profoundly disturbing to those accustomed to operating through masks and pretenses. The highly vibrational person doesn't need to say or do anything threatening. Their mere presence creates an environment where truth prevails and deception becomes impossible. This natural ability to expose falsehood makes them powerful allies for justice and formidable opponents for those who profit from lies and manipulation. The spiritual gifts that develop through vibrational elevation are not party tricks or ego enhancements. They are tools of divine service, and they come with great responsibility. A person who has developed genuine psychic abilities, healing powers, or prophetic insight understands that these gifts are not their own but are channeled through them from higher sources. This understanding creates a humility that is paradoxically combined with tremendous power. When such a person is threatened or when they witness injustice, they do not respond from ego or personal vendetta. They respond as instruments of cosmic justice, and their actions carry the authority of universal law. This might manifest as a simple word that cuts through deception and exposes truth, or it might involve more dramatic interventions that seem to defy ordinary causality. Stories abound of highly evolved souls who, when pushed too far, have demonstrated abilities that left their opponents stunned and transformed. The protection that surrounds genuinely awakened beings extends beyond their personal sphere to encompass all those under their care. Teachers, healers, and spiritual guides who have achieved high vibrational states often find that attempts to harm their students or communities result in swift and decisive karmic consequences for the perpetrators. This is not because they curse their enemies, but because they have become conduits for divine protection that operates automatically when needed. Understanding this dynamic is crucial for anyone on the spiritual path. The goal is not to become someone to be feared, but to become someone so aligned with truth and love that opposing you becomes equivalent to opposing the fundamental forces of creation itself. This alignment creates a natural protection that requires no effort or intention on the part of the awakened person. It simply is. The process of reaching such vibrational heights requires tremendous sacrifice and dedication. It means releasing attachment to outcomes, surrendering personal will to divine will, and accepting responsibility for the power that comes with spiritual advancement. Many begin the journey seeking personal benefits, but those who persist discover that true spiritual power can only be wielded in service to the greater good. This service orientation is what distinguishes genuine spiritual power from its counterfeit versions. Those who seek power for personal gain, who use spiritual practices to enhance their ego or control others, may develop certain abilities, but they remain vulnerable because they are not aligned with universal principles. Their power is borrowed and temporary, and it ultimately turns against them. In contrast, the power of the truly awakened is inexhaustible because it flows from the infinite source of all creation. It cannot be depleted or corrupted because it is not personal power but divine power flowing through a purified vessel. This creates a being who is simultaneously the most gentle and the most formidable presence one could encounter. The gentleness comes from their deep compassion and understanding of the interconnectedness of all life. They see the divine spark in every being and respond with love even to those who oppose them. But their formidability comes from their absolute commitment to truth and their willingness to serve as instruments of cosmic justice when necessary. Those who have encountered such beings often describe a profound sense of being in the presence of something far greater than an ordinary human personality. There is a quality of timelessness, of ancient wisdom, and of power held in perfect restraint. These individuals have learned to embody the paradox of being simultaneously human and divine, accessible and mysterious, loving and terrible. The terrible aspect is not cruelty or malice, but the awesome power of truth itself. When someone has become a clear mirror of reality, their presence alone can shatter illusions and force confrontation with aspects of oneself that have been carefully hidden. This can be a profoundly uncomfortable experience for those unprepared for such intensity of truth. For those who would interact with highly vibrational people, the key is authenticity. Approach with genuine intentions, speak truthfully, and act with integrity, and you will find them to be the most supportive and nurturing presences imaginable. But attempt to deceive, manipulate, or harm them, and you may discover that you have engaged with forces far beyond your understanding or control. The universe has its own intelligence, its own sense of justice, and its own ways of maintaining balance. Those who have learned to align with this cosmic intelligence become its agents in the world. They do not need to defend themselves because the universe itself rises to their defense. They do not need to seek revenge because cosmic justice operates through them automatically. This is the true meaning of spiritual power. Not the ability to impose one's will upon others, but the capacity to become so transparent to divine will that one's very existence serves the highest good. Such beings are simultaneously the most harmless and the most dangerous people on earth. Harmless to those who approach with love and dangerous to those who approach with malice. In our current age of spiritual awakening, more and more individuals are beginning to embody these higher vibrational states. This represents both a tremendous opportunity for collective evolution and a warning to those who would continue to operate through deception and manipulation. The old ways of controlling others through fear, lies, and force are becoming increasingly ineffective as more people awaken to their true spiritual nature. The highly vibrational person stands as a beacon of what humanity can become when it chooses love over fear, truth over deception, and service over selfishness. They are living proof that spiritual evolution is not only possible but inevitable for those willing to do the inner work required. Yet they also serve as a reminder that with great power comes great responsibility, and that the path to enlightenment is not for the faint of heart. To encounter such a being is to be given a choice. Rise to meet their vibration and be transformed by the experience, or resist their light and face the consequences of that resistance. The choice is always ours, but the outcome is determined by universal law. In the presence of genuine spiritual power, pretense falls away, truth emerges, and we are confronted with exactly who we really are beneath all our masks and defenses. This is both the gift and the challenge of the highly vibrational person. They create a space where only authenticity can survive, where truth prevails, and where the deepest aspects of our being are called forth into the light. For those ready to embrace this invitation, the encounter becomes a catalyst for their own spiritual evolution. For those who resist, it becomes a mirror reflecting back the very patterns and energies they have been projecting into the world. The message is clear. In an age of increasing spiritual awakening, the old games of manipulation and deception are becoming obsolete. The highly vibrational beings walking among us are not here to be trifled with or taken advantage of. They are here as agents of transformation, as catalysts for collective awakening, and as guardians of the new consciousness that is emerging on our planet. To align with them is to align with the future of human evolution itself.